just finished a meditation class online, and I was not expecting that, bro. Okay, I was bawling. I was like, what do you mean? Okay, thank God I had both my camera off and my microphone on mute. Okay, bawling, BAWLING. Okay, and I wasn't expecting that because this meditation is something I do twice a week anyway. It was just like a different, wow. Oh my God. I felt so off yesterday and today because I felt like there was a part of me that I wasn't like expressing to the world, but I wasn't even aware of it. Like, I just knew that there was something that I was holding back, and I knew that I was reacting to the world from a place of protection of myself. You know what I mean? And I didn't even realize this until 20 minutes ago, bitch. Okay? Because I was just like, I don't know why I feel this way. Why do I feel so odd? Why do I feel off, bro? Okay? So I hopped on my meditation, and my teacher, she goes, you need to do this if you feel, today we're going to meditate on the love that you don't give because you have so many good excuses to not give that love, right? And I was like, what do you mean? Okay, because yes, right, we have so many good excuses to like not give the love that we want to give out, right? We have so many good excuses. You're protecting yourself. That person doesn't deserve it. That person, whatever. Okay, so you keep all of the beautiful things that you have to give to yourself, your kindness to yourself, and then you present yourself to the world with like an edge, a roughness. And I feel like, oh my God, I do that, bro. Not to overshare on the internet, but like there's a roughness to me, and it's precisely, and I'm rough with people that I love. And this isn't oversharing because I'm being very careful about what I'm okay with sharing or not. There's a roughness that I apply in my friendships, my relationship with my familial relationships, my romantic relationships, where it's like, I am so afraid of that you can hurt me, that I'm going to keep you over here with a certain amount of roughness, okay? And a certain amount of brutality. Not in like an abusive way, but in like I'm not going to give you all the love and kindness that I want to give you because I don't feel that you deserve it, or I feel like you can hurt me, or I feel like I'm protecting myself, or I seem like blah, 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 blah. I have no idea how I'm going to protect myself and give all the love I have to give. I don't know. I just had this epiphany now, bitch. Okay, I'm having it as I speak, right? But I had that epiphany, right? And then it's just kind of like, why do we feel, when did love, right, in all of the different forms become transactional, okay? Because if you have something beautiful, if you have something beautiful to give, think about all the times that you give out love freely without expecting anything in return, and that's the most fulfilling thing ever, right? It sounds so pretentious, bro. But if you give freely and you don't expect anything in return, that feeds you. That's giving is receiving, dog. Okay, and that is detachment. That is detachment. It's not the other thing that we're all as a generation obsessed with. That is like, I don't have to, how do I even phrase this? That is detachment. Is to be able to give what I need to give and not expect anything in return. As opposed to, I don't give a fuck about you. Whether you live or die, because I'm good anyway. You know what I mean? And like all smiles and all, you can have that sentiment and be like all smiley diddly bop, whatever. But like, I don't care if you live or die, you know? Like, I don't think about you when you're not around, or I'm not... You know what I mean? Like, it's just... Everything's changing for me right now in my brain right now. Okay? That was number one of the epiphany, and I still have to develop this. But I feel that. I feel that everywhere. I feel like the times that I've felt the happiest are when I feel like I have so much to give, and I give it. I have so much to give, and I give it. I give advice. I give a word. I give my pep talks. I give hugs whenever I give so many hugs. I share my food. I ask people how they're doing without expecting that they ask me how they're doing, because knowing how they're doing gives me so much, I want to talk to people for hours about their lives. I want to. You have no idea how much happiness that brings me. And it's not even because I'm like, I'm a good person. I'm not. I am. I don't know. I'm a person. Fuck. You know what I mean? Suck my dick. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a person. But that brings me joy, right? So why am I repressing this side of myself? Why am I doing that? What is that going to bring me? What has that ever brought me? That's survival. That is a survival mechanism, and we shouldn't be doing this anymore, okay? Because if I behave this way, then you behave this way, and then everybody else starts behaving this way, where we think that love is transactional, okay? And that's different from saying that love is unconditional. Love is not unconditional, okay? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about, like, it can be unconditional. Ugh, the Buddhists. You know what I mean? Love is unconditional, but there's also, like, you have to have compassion for yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Love is not transactional. You have to have compassion for yourself, and having compassion for yourself, that is protection, right? It's different from repression. And I started bawling tears of joy, bro. Because I was like, oh, I can actually, like, just call someone. You know? I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Because just because I had the realization doesn't mean I'm ready to put it into practice. But, like, it's in everything, bro. You know, I don't even know how to describe this to you. It's in everything. And it's like, I live like this a lot of the time, but, like, I think these past couple of days I forgot, and I was so in my, I need to make my, it's my world, and, it was just negative, dog. But yeah, giving is receiving, is the point of this video. To give is to receive. With compassion for yourself. Always keep that in mind. But giving is receiving, and I know I keep saying it over and over again. When you decide, I'm not going to give all of the beautiful things that I have to give, because I'm not going to get something in return, you're operating from anxiety, not love, okay? You're operating from attachment, not love. Love is free. It sounds so hippie, dog. We have to, like, if if the thing that you want to give, because there's people that like overgive. I was an overgiver for a long time, and I thought that was the love that I had to give, and I thought that I was giving that freely, and I thought I was like, oh no, you just can't handle how big my love is. Like, you're so pathetic. Like, you're overwhelmed by my ginormous heart, you know. When in reality, that wasn't love that I was giving. I was looking for a transaction. I was paying for a product that I wasn't getting. You know what I mean? I was like trying. Love doesn't feel like trying. Love is effort. Love is a verb. Love is an action. You know what I mean? But think about what you would do for the people that you love, right? And that's not to say that love is never uncomfortable, but it's an honor. You know what I mean? Like sitting with somebody, taking somebody to the hospital that you love and care about, and knowing that you can be there for them. It's an honor, yo. Oh, I'm gonna cry. You know what I mean? You feel so like, wow. Thank you for having me. At least me. I don't know. There's some fucked up people, but you know what I mean? When one of your friends decides that you are the person that they want to call to have a mental breakdown, that's an honor. It's different from somebody that abuses your, you know, there's a lot of like subcategories that we need to like clear up, but you know, attachment versus love and giving freely. Wow. Yeah. That was my epiphany, and I think a lot of people already know about it. And I think I already knew it, but I didn't realize how much I actually need to put it into practice, because I didn't realize how much it affects me to protect myself all the time. Because it's a shield, dog, and the shield is like too small for your body, and your heart is right here, and the shield is like pressing you down. You can't breathe, bro. You gotta breathe. You gotta take off this armor. Does that mean that you'll get hurt? You know, like there's so much more Buddhism I have to learn about for me to give you all the answers right now, but this is the only thing I know for fact. For a fact, bro. It's like when you don't laugh at something that you think is so funny, right? Because you don't know if everybody else thinks it's funny. Or in turn, okay, here's what it is. I found the anecdote. It's when somebody, okay, attachment is when somebody says a joke. This is what it feels like. Somebody says a joke and you don't think it's funny, but you force a laugh anyway. Because you think that is connection. You think that will help the other person feel understood. You think that you're being a good person. You think that you're making them feel comfortable. You think what? Because you're actually repressing how you actually feel. You're trying with somebody, but it's not true. That's what it feels like. That's what this like holding back feels like, is when you force a laughter for your joke times a million. I don't know if any of this made sense, okay? I have to go back to crying, but I'm glad to be back. I don't know how long that will last, but again, I'm not on a freaking schedule, dog. I'm on my own journey, and this is like where I'm journaling. I'm journaling live, bitch. I also want to work on swearing less, okay? I realize I swear a lot. You gotta cut me some slack, okay? I grew up in New York and in like cartel Mexico. You need to cut me a little bit of slack. I'm working on it. I want to be a little more fancy schmance. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, yeah, homework is don't give anything to anybody unless you feel self-regulated and at calm and at peace about giving that thing to somebody without expecting anything in return. Of course it'll be nice if you get something in return, I'm not saying, only operate on that level. And then only operate on that level. Damn, I know that there's more to say, but this is as far as my brain is going to work today. Okay, thank you for listening. Bye, guys.